and watch. Is that an instruction for the viewers what they need to do? I don't get it.
I don't either.
Wow.
We're uploading right now.
I mean,
Let's
if
see if
you're
we
in an
can get
office
live.
setting, my apologies to your coworkers.
We're live. Hey-o.
Did we somehow manage to lose every one of our
Watch us drink again.
our viewers?
Yeah.
We
There
have
we
one
go.
watcher, which is our producer. I can't get the live to come up, but
Guys,
that's
it's fine.
That's fine.
This is fine. This happens to everybody. It's happened, I'm sure, to the Oscars, to the Grammys.
What I love is that I've never logged in through this way trying to find a live for our. So it shows me Commonwealth, Texas. Love the, love all the things. My favorite part is that we have almost as many videos posted as we have subscribers.
Yes. 70-something.
74 subscribers, 45 videos posted.
Fantastic.
Most of which are an hour long or more. Settings, all settings, live stream, live stream chat bottom right. Okay, says it's on.
So I can chat with them, but I can't see their chat. That's the problem.
We can't post.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
That one's on. But we're here. Guys, we're here now. We got Bare Ass.
Congratulations.
And Watch. Bare Ass and Watch. We're just talking about how the Electric Slide is a song about vibrators, apparently.
Wow.
We heard it from Bear.
Didn't know we needed to reissue that one in the lead in.
Our Googler.
Do we want to go through the lyrics?
That would be a definite no for me.
Okay. All right.
That's a no for me, dog.
That's a no for me, dog. Come on, Randy.
Come on, Randy.
Yeah.
American
You do
Idol.
look just like you look as similar to Randy Jackson as you do to
Ike.
to Ike. Yeah.
Yeah. Very similar.
There we go.
Are you saying that
can-
Ike and Randy Jackson look alike?
Yeah, that's exactly what. It's saying.
Absolutely.
So that's what I inferred from that. Okay, well, talk about getting derailed.
Yeah. We're here now. Hey, there's more people in here. Go
Okay.
ahead. Yep. And I'm just going to, put your, nope, that's not it. There it
Is
is.
it hashtag 43?
Hashtag 43,
go.
everybody.
Okay.
We're giving away a bottle of Liquor 43. And if you're still with us and there's less than 7, everybody's getting a bottle who tuned into the second podcast.
What's the, there's a countdown on that deal. Let's see if that 43 goes away. Let me see it.
Yeah. So that's the cool part. So you can assign it to show up and then it'll go back to the normal stuff.
Oh,
Hey-o.
look at there.
Hey,
This guy. This
So
guy.
we're figuring some things out. We've got a
There's a
producer
map.
now, but this is the first time we're using this new stuff. Josh, we do have some things to talk about.
Okay.
Since everybody's logged back in, special thanks for that bottle to member number 1, Michael Dunn.
Thank you, Michael.
And Dunn
You're
with
the
Budget
man.
Blinds. Again, contract negotiations for the future of this pod. Don't judge us off this episode, though, buddy. This one actually goes in your favor.
I think we just greatly increased his negotiating power.
Yes,
As
we really did.
But it just also showcases that we truly need more funds to be better.
100%.
So I think,
Yeah.
we regain control there.
We do.
regained it back.
Plus, now with this stuff, we have Bear looking like a fighter pilot.
That's true.
I like Bear with headphones and a headphone mode.
Or
you know
an
what I mean?
iPad kid in the corner of the restaurant. That
Yes.
Everybody's hoping won't talk.
Who's gaming. There's a mid 40. How old are you, Bear? 40s? 30? 48? Yeah. So there's a 40-year-old gamer
that was my first.
in the corner.
I just heard
That was my first.
an F-bomb
Sorry.
from the bear.
That was my first one.
I'm thankful that he was mic'd up and spoke directly
100%.
into the microphone as he let loose.
Boy,
with
was that good.
I apologize to all the women and children who are watching our show currently.
Right.
Boy,
We do not condone
Was-
that type of language.
That was the first one.
From Bear Ass.
Of all the times.
I can see the online chat while I'm streaming now from my phone.
Okay.
So Wes, Stank is in, DD214 Blanket, Jeff Libby, the Cornishes, Kevin,
know-
obviously, Mary Dean.
Do you know what a DD214 is?
Nope, no clue.
So that is the document, and I'm sure I'll get corrected 100 times. Generally, basically, it's a document that shows a person's service history, where they were, what their stations were, what their ranks
It's a
were,
military
how
thing?
time they were.
Okay.
It's a military thing. DD214. So congratulations. Thank you for your service. Whoever has that as their screen name.
Yep, it's fantastic. But here we are, Josh, Kevin, Chandler. We made it to Friday.
We are struggling through
We
Friday
are
right
struggling through this Friday.
but doing it well.
The funny thing is I started setting all this shit up at 10 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
Made sure that everything was on the way it needed to be.
Just need a little more prep time.
A little more prep time.
We're always a little light on the prep time, but that's
Yeah.
okay because we're gamers. That's what we do.
Fine, y'all.
We
It's
show
fine.
up and we game.
We're going to
We
figure
ball
out how
out.
to see the live chat at some point.
We balls out.
Oh, upgrade plan. Yep. Now it's going into negotiations with.
Thank you,
Yep.
Diesel.
That's
Speaking
what it
of.
is.
Okay.
I got to upgrade
Well,
our
hey,
plan. It's
We'll,
fine.
we'll include that line item in our
Yeah.
negotiation discussion with our
Yep.
potential sponsor.
From Mary Dean, y'all need a woman involved with this podcast. She would have had the new equipment figured out before the podcast. I said what I said.
Yeah, there is
Yeah.
no fun in that. I agree, Chandler. And have you seen what women do to this pod? We gave them a chance, Mary Helen.
We
I don't
gave
think
them
anybody
the
wants
whole
that.
pod.
Yeah,
And there's really no
they
other way to
couldn't
say
handle it.
They shit the bed.
yeah.
And have you ever shit the bed as an adult?
They just couldn't
can't
take it
be
all at
pleasant.
once. No.
Yeah.
Now, I did win the bottles the week that they hosted. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I thought Chandler was going with, I did just shit the bed.
Yeah, I did too. Chandler's like, yeah, I shit the bed yesterday. It's not a fun experience. Man, boy, that we got off track. We have gotten
I
off
don't
track.
even know how that happens.
I don't know.
Is that like an insight into the male brain? And like, it's not a pretty sight. We don't know how it happens, but you know what? Eventually we get there.
Speaking of our wives,
Oh no.
I have a topic for us.
Okay.
Guaranteed to stir shit up. You ready? My wife is here. Yours is
I
not.
think I'm out.
So I think it's probably
I think
a
I'm
one
gonna
in
sit this one out. Bare ass, you want to weigh in on this
there's
topic?
a 1 in 10 chance that Carrie goes back to watch this. There is a 10 out of 10 chance that if she shit.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Right on cue with her
go.
fresh hair,
Here we
dude.
go.
Wow.
Dang. So my wife got her hair did yesterday. Your wife just came and got her hair
Look
did.
at them all fresh. They got their
Uh-huh.
lines in.
I can feel the stare
They
from
got
my
all
wife
lined up.
right now.
Yeah.
I can too.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
That's
so,
why we're all distancing and you are just forging
Nope.
ahead.
I'm hammering along.
He's the river tester. He's the first guy into the river, and it's getting deeper and deeper very quickly. And the rest of us are just on the bank, like, "Hey, bro,
Yep.
maybe we just turn around. Maybe we find a different spot."
Nope.
I don't
no
need
chance.
to. I don't need to go to
No,
Oregon that
we're
bad.
throwing the boat in right here.
Yeah, forge ahead.
Yep. So here's the topic.
Okay.
And you and I both have new drivers in our family.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not going to be specific to the wives, but we are going to talk about the wives. It's even better that they're in person so they don't think we're talking about them behind their back.
Okay.
But I want to discuss the driving behaviors of everybody in our family.
Okay.
Not just as the driver, but whoever's riding shotgun.
Okay.
Because, Josh, I can't tell you how thankful I am. I have been saved from at least a million and a half wrecks by my wife
Oh,
telling me
thank you, Christy.
that she sees brake lights. They're stopping in front of you. Well, yes, they are stopping a mile in front of me on the
But
highway.
brake lights are a relatively new invention, and it's hard to kind of
is.
differentiate what's going on when these red lights are on the back of a car.
Yep.
It's hard to really see and react to that without assistance.
Yes. What I will say, and this isn't to her credit, it is a little bit more understandable when I think you're the teacher of driving in your family,
Generally, yes.
generally. Because if they start with Carrie, they're like, I can't drive with mom,
Yeah.
right? I have two kid drivers in our family, a 19-year-old and a 16-year-old, both boys, both pretty decent drivers. But when I take the shotgun roll, I try not to give they're stopping, stop faster, stop
Yeah.
further,
Yeah.
give it more room,
Yeah.
give
Trying
it more
to give them
runway.
some room to spread their wings a little bit.
Yeah. But I will say and it goes back to control, right?
Okay.
And we're not going to dive head deep into that topic with our wives
Definitely
because
not.
we would both be divorced. But there is a thing, I've been saved from $1.5 million, but let's talk about the wives and the kids. What are the driving habits, both of the person sitting shotgun with you and when you're sitting shotgun of them?
So there was contention early on because Carrie used to, when we were driving, if something like scared her or bothered her or she saw brake lights, it was the and you can see by my face right now how that makes me feel when somebody does that when I'm driving.
You don't even like to be pointed at,
So-
yet alone.
We had quite
Yeah.
a few very intense, heart-to-heart, elevated voice discussions
Yes,
in the middle of those a couple of times.
we have.
To her credit, she does not do that anymore if she can help it. And if she does, she apologizes immediately.
Quickly.
But we're past that, I think. It only took about 23 years in our marriage for that not to happen.
Are you
anymore.
really past it? Because I'll tell you what happens when we go somewhere all together.
Yeah.
If it's us four.
Yeah.
Now, I will say one great thing is it's usually you or I driving,
Yes.
and they let like the other same gendered person sit in the front seat.
Yeah.
So if you're driving, I'm riding shotgun.
Yep.
What that doesn't stop them from doing is still driving and letting you know that we're braking
Yeah.
in the cars, right? But
Is this a universal thing?
this
Is
is
this like-
my question. Is it something
So-
that just you and I face?
Bear.
Is it Bear ass?
Do you have?
That's always his name from now on.
I laugh when you say bare ass. Is this a phenomenon in your vehicles?
So yes, but what Summer and I have decided to do, and we kind of just made this agreement almost without even discussing it. We look out the window when the other person is driving. Like we look out the passenger window, or I just close my eyes because like one of the things that bugs me, and I don't know, maybe it's the estrogen in me or something, is that when cars are stopped or there is a red light and people accelerate to that, like that drives me insane, like just as a passenger. But the other thing that happens, rarely is somebody else in our family driving. I'd say of the, I don't know, 99.9% of the time I'm the one driving, so nothing bothers me. I'm the world's greatest driver as far as I know. And
Of course.
yeah, and Summer, the comments do come.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we've learned because early on we had that issue for sure.
Are you one of those? And Nicole brings up a good point. On road trips, do y'all let your wives drive? Question mark.
No,
Question
hell
mark.
no.
We'll be on no. The answer's I have a really good friend.
was
I have a
resounding.
really good friend, not up here right now, whose wife always drives.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, are your balls and the other thing in her purse? Like,
Wow.
I guess I was just like,
So you can say balls,
the
but
dude
you can't
drives
say-
everywhere all the
yeah.
time. The dude drives.
So what's that, Bear?
It's- you can say balls, but you can't say the other thing. That just doesn't make
Dick,
sense.
balls and dick. Are you happy?
Not the version that I would have used, but that's okay. That's
Right.
why we're great together.
Wiener,
Yeah.
balls and wiener.
Want to see my
beans.
wiener?
Do you want to see my wiener?
Uh,
Greatest TikTok of all time.
yeah.
How many times does that get sent from husbands to wives?
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
God.
okay, put a pin in that
All right.
topic. Somebody
Yeah.
write it down.
Yep.
I'm right.
Or
now.
don't.
TikToks and videos that you send your wife, and
Oh, yeah.
via she sends you.
Yeah.
So I always drive.
Yeah.
Always, even if it is. I remember us driving to New Mexico. Years and years ago. It's like a 16-hour trip. No, we drive. You and I have talked about this. If you and I are going somewhere, whether it's all us four or just you and I, you always drive. I
Yeah.
prefer not to. I'd rather run the aux.
Yes. You're
you know,
great at the
chill.
odds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Look-
great at driving.
Look through
Like,
my
it works.
Twitters, all the things.
The other thing that I enjoy is when my wife is in the passenger seat and she's giving directions. If I don't have it up, you get like, hey, we need to turn here, like about 2 feet at 60 miles an hour ahead of where you need to turn. But if there's generally another dude in the front seat, he's like, hey, quarter mile up here on the right, we're going to take whatever road, just get, ease in the right lane. You're like, sweet, got it. You get a little bit more of a heads up.
Bro, this is a thing.
Yeah.
This is a thing. Now, with me, I kind of get in just like spaced out when I'm driving,
Yeah.
especially if it's on the highway. I'm chilling. And we were driving before GPS,
Yeah.
right?
When you had the Mapsco map. When
Mapsco,
you had
you
to
printed
print
it
out
off.
and highlight your
MapQuest,
route.
yeah.
Yep.
MapQuest, yeah.
See, kids and the generations ahead of, below us, wait, in front of
Yes.
us. In front of us,
No, behind.
kids,
After us.
Chandler's
After.
age.
After.
Yeah, like in
After
the
us.
back door.
Generations after us in the back door, where you see Bear. They'll never know that struggle from having to follow a printed out, line by line, little bitty picture of an actual map
Yeah.
from MapQuest.
Yep.
They'll never know the struggle.
No.
Much like CDs, we've talked about that before. But it is interesting because another thing that my wife still does to this point that I make it a point not to do is she's like, I will say, hey, so do I take a left up here? She's like, right. And I'm like, no. Are you telling me I need to take a right? She's like,
Correct.
no, right. So the word is
Yeah.
correct.
Uh-huh.
Hey, babe, do I take a left up here? Correct. Perfect. Hey, babe, do I take a left up
You
here?
taking notes
Right.
over there? You writing things down?
Affirmative.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Affirmative works great. Roger that works great.
We
Right.
also, and tell me if it's the same with Carrie, and Bear, I'm hopping to you next for Summer to talk shit because she's not here. She's
Yeah.
teaching somewhere.
Right.
She works at a school. My wife has no sense of cardinal directions. So north, south, east. Hey, we're going to go north on 35.
I think it's
Which way is that?
I think that's just how God made men and women.
Yes.
I think he made women to take directions by you take a left at the 7-Eleven, you go up to that one dress shop, you take a right, you go a little ways down that road, and then once you see the red flag with the balloons, that's where it's at. Dudes are like, hey, you're going to 7th Street, you're going to go east, then you're going to go that way for 1.2 miles, then you're going to go north on 42nd.
Oh,
Like,
that's so good.
guys are directional, east, north, south,
Yep.
west. Women are landmarks.
And you can usually tell by the sun.
Yeah.
Even when it's noon and directly above you, you can usually
When
go
we
to the sun.
first moved to Dallas, early 2000s, 02, 03, 04, this was in the MapQuest days. We didn't have iPhones that had directions. Carrie would literally call me on my work phone and say, hey, I'm at a payphone in this place. How do I get to where I'm going? I'm like, well, where's the sun? She's like, why does that have anything to do with it? I'm like, because that will tell me, drive towards the sun, drive away from the sun. You're pointed north. You need to be going to the left. I think it's a guy and a girl thing. I think that's just how God made us all different.
It is. What are your trips like with Summer? How does she give you directions, Bear?
So, I am the navigator 1,000%, and she gets highly annoyed when I say go north or east or west or south. The interesting thing is my mom is a north, south, east, west person, and when Summer first moved to Indianapolis, when we moved there, my mom would try to tell her how to get places, and she'd say, well, you have to go east on Washington Street. And then Summer would call me and be like, I have no idea what the hell she's telling me. Like, what does that even mean? And so, yeah, it's, but I'm a control freak on the trips.
And you're the driver?
Oh,
All the time?
Driver and navigator.
Yes.
You've removed the navigation duties from
She
Summer.
sleeps, and then she is princess safety, except for putting her damn feet on the dash where the airbag is. When we have an accident.
You have
then-
hit another one, Bear.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden their kneecaps are going to be in their nose, like if there's an accident.
Have you
Like,
seen the video of the crash test dummy that they put the feet up on the dash
No.
and the airbag deploys?
It's fine.
It is worth a look for everybody. I still have the memory of what happens to that crash test dummy. Now try to explain that, especially Elle and Carrie,
Yep.
and they're just feet. Nope, they do not care. Like if we get in a fender bender, I'm just gonna go see Jesus. It's fine.
Right.
Okay.
I'll tell you what. It's only happened a couple of times, and largely it's my kids now. But if there's someone riding in the back seat and it's a long trip, the back seater putting their feet up on the front console.
Oh, no, hell no.
Oh, get your stanky
I'm
dogs
like,
off the
get your
console.
stank ass feet off the
Absolutely
console,
not.
people. So here's a couple of comments.
Okay.
Michael King, the Bourbon King, shout out. Can't wait to go bird hunting. Passenger has only 2 jobs. Number 1, navigate. Number 2, DJ. I
Agreed.
actually agree with that synopsis.
Totally agree. Navigate with some fair warning, with some situational awareness.
Jeff Libby, instead of Dick and Balls, Franks and Beans.
Oh,
Okay?
yeah.
I'm just going down the comments
Yeah,
in
what was
order.
was that something about Mary where it's like the
Yeah,
Franks
something
ended
about
up
Mary.
the Franks
Yeah.
ended up above the beans or
You're
something?
right. Yeah.
Okay.
Something about Mary.
Yeah.
Underrated movie.
Yeah.
Mary Dean, I think it's universal. We call the passenger seat the death seat when Ted is driving. Now, Ted is a pilot.
Yeah.
Like he flies $1 million airplanes all over the world.
Multi-million-dollar badass jets.
Lots of lives at stake.
Yep.
But apparently, the passenger seat when Ted is driving is the death seat.
Okay.
I smell cat.
All right.
as my
There's
kids would
something
say.
about Mary Helen Dean.
Stank says, "Bro, what's wrong with letting the woman drive? That way I can drink." I would never promote drinking and driving, but
It brings
If-
up an excellent point.
if we're going anywhere, my wife's already started drinking before she gets in the car. Okay,
That's how she handles your terrible driving.
100%.
Yeah.
Nicole says, "I think our generation and before will always be better at navigation than Gen Z. We learned how to read a map."
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
completely
100%.
agree.
It's kind of like like they don't teach cursive in schools anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, but
yet-
who needs cursive? That I'm 100% on board for.
Bro,
needs
you can't
handwriting?
read the Declaration of Independence. It's written in cursive.
We're
That's a
tearing
good
that
point.
we're tearing that thing up anyway.
And there's a second F-bomb.
Look at him.
Bare ass in the
Look
F-bombs.
at
He's
him.
catching up to me real fast.
Okay.
Right. So, and I'm not even drinking, like, which is the crazy part. Okay, this is another topic that has caused some consternation. And it's on topic.
I feel like Bear's on a roll right now. He's hitting his
So-
stride.
He is.
So the reliance on the GPS for everybody but myself. You kind of hit on this, Josh, earlier. Like, we have been to Miller's Barbecue 100,000 times in
Yes.
the 6 years we've been there, and my kids will still enter it in the GPS. I'm like, what are you doing? Why? How do you not know how to get there? So
Yeah.
anyway.
I'll tell you what, I will counterpoint this thing. What's interesting, like if my kids get in the car with Josh, especially my boys, they're like, dude, how do you just know where everything is? And I think the same thing. I am one who enters any location, like from here, going home, which is 7 minutes for me. I'll just, because it shows up as home, then I can hit it. But it shows me traffic.
Yep.
Like, so
Traffic.
it's the one thing for me, like the technology, I'm trying to use it. Like if I do need to kind of sidestep some landmines on the way home or anywhere, I'm like, it shows me traffic. Also, the great game for
you beat
any
it?
dad
Yeah.
is beating the time given by the GPS.
Beat the arrival time.
Yes.
Beat the arrival time.
But if it's Sunday 2:00, like, you don't need to fire up the GPS, right?
It's not so much for the
So-
direction.
It's not. It's, not.
the traffic flow.
Yeah.
It already, every time I get in my car, it's like, do you want to go to Commonwealth? Yeah.
Yes.
I want to know how many people's GPS automatically defaults. Do you want to go to Commonwealth as soon as you get in the car?
Dude, how great is that? That just made my heart so happy.
Yeah.
It's also one of those things for me that the GPS itself has come so far. I remember it was never in any car. Like it was only in the Garmin. And that Garmin was like
Right.
$1,000.
Yep.
And you're like, this is the coolest thing ever invented. Because maps, if you don't have a navigator, you got
Yeah.
that bitch up on the steering wheel, like
Yeah.
in your line of sight
Uh-huh.
driving out the car.
Yeah.
And so it has become one of those things. It's funny. I drove to, where was it? Rockdale last night for a middle school track meet of all things.
Congratulations.
And anyways, I don't know how before GPS we navigated these country roads that really were hard to see on any map.
Yeah.
Right? Like, but the greatest game is any male, any dad especially, is hey, I'm loading up family vacation times. We're planning our stops. I think I can knock 5 minutes to the point
Yeah.
that it's a cash game with me and my oldest boys.
Yeah.
Is hey, $5 says I can beat it by 4 minutes. Right? And it just becomes one of those really fun kind of things.
Yeah.
Are you ever on like a long trip though, where you know that it takes 2 hours and 10 minutes to get where you're going?
Yeah.
And that's what your GPS tells you, even though you're speeding 13 miles over the speed limit or whatever.
Oh yeah.
It somehow knows that you're going to speed and will nail the timing every single
The
time.
accuracy
Yeah.
How
is
does
the
it know?
accuracy is great.
The accuracy is pretty incredible.
Because there's fucking robots everywhere.
Oh,
Like,
there we go.
there are, and they listen to everything, man. There's drones flying around this place that can see through the buildings, right?
Yeah. No, that's just your buddy who sits in the trees and watches us.
Is Mitchell out there right now?
Probably. Mitchell Tenpenny.
What is your go-to GPS app of choice?
I'm a Waze guy,
Love Waze.
but I've recently been turned off a little bit by Waze because it doesn't give me a choice.
Yeah.
Like I want it to say, here are the 3 routes, like Apple Maps does, or Google Maps, and pick which one you want, even if it takes a little longer. Waze is like, even if this takes 1 minute shorter, I'm going to route you through hell and back to be able to get you to this location 1 minute earlier. I'm like, I don't want to do that.
You will go through
So-
so many neighborhoods.
Yes.
100%.
Neighborhood roads, and then you're like, wait, this isn't, or there's a gate.
And
It's
you
like
gotta
a,
have a gate code.
yeah, it's like a side road or a gate code, and you're like, damn it, now it's 9 minutes longer. It's terrible. But Waze generally has not let me down. Carrie hates when Waze is up on the screen
Yep.
of the car.
Yep.
Because it's like, car on the shoulder ahead. Is the car on the shoulder still ahead? Car on the shoulder's coming up. Hazard in the road. And she's like, oh my God. She just constantly, like, as soon as something comes up, I don't have time to read it. She's just Xing it off the screen. Yeah. Still there, not there, still there.
Oh
It is
my gosh.
annoying.
How?
But it's like a game for me. I'm like, I'm
100%.
getting points every time I do
Yes.
that. There's
Well,
like
and
a
you
car on
feel
the
like-
road, it's not on there. I'm like, input, new, hazard, car on the shoulder, plus
Yes.
5 points. Yes.
Yeah.
Genius,
Same.
Waze. Genius.
Is when I love Waze because it still uses Google Maps as a profile. I think at least it started that way, but it uses crowdsourcing for all of the traffic, which
Yeah.
I really actually like.
Yeah.
And then they put in, do you want your Waze voice to be Ice Cube? And I'm like, hell,
Hold on.
yes, I do. Yes.
This is an option?
You can change the voices of Waze,
Morgan-
and it's
Morgan
usually
Freeman's
by
on there,
either a
too.
new record or a new movie coming out. Like one time, I could change my car little avatar into the Toy Story rocket ship.
Yep.
Right?
Is Sofia Vergara on there? Just asking for a friend.
Neither can confirm nor deny.
Okay.
But that's what I really liked about that. And I think with Google and Apple, you can change the voice from male to female, like British or American
Sean
or whatever.
Connery.
Yeah.
Take a right
But that's-
in 10 minutes.
Because I won't listen to a lot of
actually
people.
wasn't bad.
That wasn't
Good
bad.
Sean,
Thank
that's a
you.
good Sean
Thank
Connery.
you.
Yeah.
I won't listen to a lot of people tell me what to do, but if it was Sean Connery, if it was fucking 007,
Hey, bring it up.
dude, it's the internet. It's our third
Dude.
time going live today.
Dude, how many people know that Sean Connery was actually 007? Because
No,
it was like 5
hardly any.
movies, maybe 4
Yeah,
movies.
and he was the original.
And dude, he was no. There was
No,
one
he was
before
the
him.
second. He was the second, I believe.
Yeah, there was
No.
a thinner guy. Yeah.
Dr. No, the first studio
Googling
release. Dr.
We need,
No
we need
was
somebody to
Sean
Google this.
Connery.
Who are we going to get to Google this?
By
Chandler's
the,
doing it.
I'm right. I told you, dude. I am a James Bond dude.
What year,
Okay.
James Bond?
1960.
7.
Set 2. Damn it.
Dude?
I was
62.
close. Dr. No, but it was the first one.
Wow, 62. That is
Crazy,
So the
right?
other guy was after Connery.
Yeah, Roger Moore.
Huh.
No, Roger. There was somebody between Connery and Roger.
I do feel
Moore.
no,
I'm looking
nope,
it up.
nope. It was Sean Connery, Roger Moore, Timothy Dalton for like
Oh,
2, and he was awful. And then you got into the Pierce Brosnan, and then Daniel Craig.
so there was one movie on Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Thank you.
George Lazenby.
Yes, thank you.
George
See, George Lazenby, but it wasn't a 007, correct? It wasn't in Broccoli. Who does it? Probably Broccoli in Italian language.
I mean, it says it's in the James Bond series.
Guys, can I just
Okay.
tell you,
And Sean Connery came back for one.
there are many times,
Contract negotiations had to be.
Yeah.
many times where I'm like, what the hell is Jared good at? Like, the list of things he's
James
not
Bond
good
trivia.
at are so long. Today I've learned
James Bond
So
trivia will
James
never
Bond
beat
trivia.
you.
James Bond trivia. Who knew?
Who knew?
Like, this is phenomenal.
Thank you.
And best character name of all time is Pussy Galore.
Oh man, what would our dirty James Bond names be nowadays? Because that's going to be my new avatar on this podcast. From now on.
Well, we've got Bare Ass Backdoor.
Yeah.
He's already in there.
Bare Ass
It's a mix
Backdoor.
between 007 and Jumanji. I'm not sure which character he would fit better in.
He's
but-
got a little bit of Odd Job to him, except Odd Job was Asian, but he had the top hat that had the like razor spike on it
razor
that
in
he threw.
Yeah. Who was the giant that had the teeth?
Jaws. They called him
Jaws.
Jaws. Yeah.
And it was
Same
on-
guy in Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
I think like Wes Kukulski probably is the closest to Jaws that we've got.
Wes, you are Jaws.
Yeah.
Super tall, a little bit intimidating.
Yeah.
Okay, we've sparked some hot
Some
sports
comments?
opinions.
That's what I don't like about not having the
Yeah.
comments. We got to
We're gonna
figure out
figure
a
this out.
comment
We're
screen
gonna
for
figure this
next
out.
week. And we'll try to elevate this screen so we're not looking down the whole time, making triple chins.
DD214, 3 jobs. So the the shotgun rider has 3 jobs now. Past snacks. I actually agree.
Snacks.
Nicole C, Every time I leave my house, Google Maps tells me 4 minutes to Commonwealth.
And you're
Cheers.
like, I wasn't planning on it, but that's a great suggestion. I'll make a stop.
Stankenko, Google Maps sucks. I was on the bike and it took me down every gravel road in Central Texas.
Is there a motorcycle option, Stank?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because when you go to, no, there's a bike. There's like by foot, by bike, by transit, and then just by car. But there's not a. Hey, great suggestion for whoever's running Google Maps or Apple
Stankenko
Maps now.
showing his bromance, and I share it. Can you imagine Matthew McConaughey as your GPS voice? All right, it's time to turn right.
I would just drive the car off the dam.
Nope, he'd be one of my favorites. Nate Bardazzi as a Waze voice. Dude, if Bert Kreischer was a Waze
Bert
voice.
was a Waze voice, but you'd never get through the directions
Ever.
because the curse words would overpower everything.
I'm gonna say this like Wes came up with his James Bond villain name.
Okay.
It's Holden, Holden. The last name is Tuedix. Holden Two Dicks.
Whose is the other one?
Wes won the internet today.
We need the where's the cricket button when you need it?
No. Wes won
The applause button. I
internet.
don't care which one.
Here we go. Yeah.
I don't know if is the soundboard
It's
up?
on there. Yeah, we're up. Applause. You know
We'll-
what? And
we'll know in
crickets.
15 seconds.
Yeah, applause and crickets. Wes wins the internet today
Okay.
with his James Bond villain name.
Holding 2Ds.
Yeah. I'd never go outside my car if Matthew was talking. That's from Nicole Cornish.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say, what's the woman equivalent of keep it in your pants? I mean, I guess it's still in their pants, but
Keep it in your nightstand.
going back to
Back
the
to-
talk we had about electric slide.
Electric slide.
It's a new T-shirt.
I'm
Write that
saying.
down, Bear.
Got it.
Keep it in your nightstand. See, the third version is the best version.
It is the
Yeah.
best version.
There's no holds barred in this whole thing. I
Yeah.
don't even know how we got started talking about James Bond villain
The
nicknames.
same way we talk about everything. It's just
Yeah.
stream of consciousness, and one thing leads to another.
We were talking about drivers. So you have a very new driver who I still don't trust on the road, but she's done okay.
Yep.
Ish.
No accidents yet.
What kind of shotgun rider are you when your kids are driving?
Well, when Elle was learning, she's 16, got her license recently. When she was learning through the learning process, that was the leading cause of arguments between her and Carrie pretty much every day.
Which is why you had to take over the driving
Yes.
instruction.
Yep. And so, but I kind of fought the same battle or the same struggle because like you want to correct everything they do wrong. But when there's so many things that they're doing wrong, you just got to pick your battles. You
Yep.
just got to,
Yeah.
you know what? That's not life threatening. That's not, oh, this one is. Let's
Yep,
talk about
yep.
this one real quick. Let me tell you why. But then I do have a problem that I'm the over explainer.
Oh, yeah.
I don't just want her to know like, hey, you don't do this. I want her to know like why you don't do this.
Yeah.
Like let's go through like the general idea of this and like how it applies and why that's a big deal. And she's just like, we can't have this conversation right now. It's too much. It's too much data. Just tell me what I did wrong. Or just don't tell me what I did wrong. Just like stay over there because she also has the problem that she thinks she knows everything.
As most kids
I don't know
do.
if anybody else's 16-year-olds are like
Yeah.
omnipresent.
Totally
and
don't know what you're talking about.
everything about everything.
Unless somebody
But-
else says it, then it's genius.
Yeah,
Oh,
somebody
yeah.
else says it's genius. You say it, you're a moron.
Yep.
So we had quite a few of those issues. Or you're like, hey, you just rolled through that stop sign. No, I didn't. Pretty sure you didn't stop.
I was
at
in the
all.
car.
I was watching the odometer. It never got below 10. So that tells me you didn't stop. Yes, I did. Okay. All right. You know what? Because how do you win? How do you win? You don't win. You just take
can't
the
win.
keys away. Jesus, take the wheel.
Do you find that I can't picture this with Elle, but it's this way with my boys sometimes. I've got two drivers in our house, two boys. And sometimes they like to tell me if I've missed something while I've been driving.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like,
100%.
dude, it's important for you to know those things. But
Yeah.
I've got
30 years under your belt.
30 years of driving
Yeah.
under my belt. Damn,
Just happened,
33 years.
Yeah, it just happened yesterday because we have a 15-year-old, our youngest, and hopefully Summer doesn't watch this, but all three of the kids, 3 for 3, have come to me and said, Daddy, will you please do the driving instruction? Because Mom just wears us out. Like, she's just just on edge about everything. And so, but I rolled through a neighborhood stop sign, and she goes, to her credit, you're going to fail the driving test with that. So I go, well, you're right. So
Yeah.
good call.
Good thing I don't have to take the driving test because I took it
Exactly.
37 years ago. But good point.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, and I remember the driving test that I had to take. Like, we had to take it with a DPS trooper in our car.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Like, when I
intense.
took Corbin to do his driving test, it was this sweet little old lady in Cameron, Texas. Like, wouldn't hurt anyone, was super sweet, super nice. The only thing he got taken off was he didn't turn his blinker on after he had parallel parked to exit that. But I'm like, you don't know what pressure is until you've got a cowboy hat, armed, sitting in the driver's seat, writing everything you do down. You have no idea pressure.
Yeah.
Pro tip on that for anyone is that Frost Driving School across from Belton High School, if you have a pulse and you pay money, then you pass. So that's would be.
I'm sure
highly
obeying all the
recommended.
proper traffic laws, and
course.
everything
Yeah.
Oh,
else.
yeah, I mean they do a fantastic job of making sure everything's it's good.
Kosher,
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
All right.
that's way easier than going to the DPS place.
Yeah.
So
Good to know. You want one more beverage from Diesel?
How long are we going to go on?
What time is it now?
It's 101 right now. And
It's 101.
Technical difficulty.
we were 20
Yeah.
minutes over. All right, so yeah.
Yeah, she's getting it. She
She
knows.
knows.
She knows her audience.
Knows your audience. Okay, so we are 101, including the 23 minutes of trouble,
Correct.
or without?
It's actually 1:01 p.m. right now.
Oh, it's 101
Correct.
p.m. Got
Yep.
it. I thought he was
So
saying
we're
it's
not
an
at an hour.
1
No,
minute.
no, no.
Okay. All right.
No. What is it with this generation and not wanting to get their driver's license? I couldn't wait when I was
call.
younger. Hey, I'll tell you what.
That's a great
That is
point.
accurate because even Corbin, who's my 16-year-old, and you know, we tell our kids we use Daceable, this online like parental program, and you just whatever. You fill it all in the night before you go take a driving test, anyways. But there was no excitement build up to like, dude, on my birthday, Dad, I want my driver's license and I'm gonna party.
Yeah.
Right? Like none of that. Like
Did
he's
you
like,
get your
"Eh."
license on your birthday?
On my birthday.
I did too. Bear?
No, but my mom was very upset about it. It was because of some paperwork issue. So it was like 2 days after, but
Yep.
it's because it was a big deal.
Yeah.
To have it on my birthday.
Yeah. Kids nowadays are like, do you have your license? Oh, no, I only turned 16 3 months ago. You're like, what?
What?
Yeah.
Well, you're 3 months and 1 day behind. Like, get on it.
What is it with
I don't know.
I have a theory on this.
Okay.
Bring it.
So the theory that I have is that they all spend time together online via FaceTime and online and on their phones, whereas we had to go to the kitchen and talk on the phone in front of your entire family.
Yep.
So that was the escape was the car, which doesn't exist for them anymore.
Yeah, and maybe that's it. I guess I'm hoping because our childhoods, I hope, are completely different. But at some point, I think our kids still enjoy, maybe don't enjoy, but definitely don't hate spending time with adults.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was like. I was either in my room or at my friend's house.
Yeah.
For my adolescence, all the way through leaving for college. But that excitement piece, there's got to be something generationally inside of it, and where we viewed it as, dude, complete freedom.
Yeah.
Like first freedom is your car. Second freedom is you graduate high school and typically you're either going to work, going to live by yourself, going to college, go
Yeah.
do whatever, and you're like, okay, I'm finally out of the house.
Yeah.
Until
Nobody can tell me to go to bed.
Yep. Unless, you know, we're still paying phone bills and insurance and all that shit. But so it is an interesting generational kind of issue. And I think in that younger generation, not even like Uber, like our kids don't Uber to school, but they're happy being driven to school.
Yeah.
Like they don't care. They're not embarrassed
Yeah.
completely by their parents or, hey, so-and-so is going to take me to school or so-and-so is going to pick me up and we're going to go to Chick-fil-A. Like they're
Yeah.
just as happy doing that than driving themselves.
That is a good point that you bring up, Bear, because nowadays kids can FaceTime and they can group chat and they're social media. They are constantly interacting with their peers at all times. We didn't interact with our peers unless you were with
Physically
your
there,
peers physically there. And so there was much more of a motivation for us to go hang out with our friends because we hadn't seen them in 2 days or hadn't talked to them over the weekend or whatever. That's a really good point. I think social media and the connectivity of kids these
Kids these days,
Get
God.
off my lawn.
Did we turn into those guys just
I
now?
guess so.
I
guess
think we
so.
did.
It's fine.
Man, kids.
I'll be old guy.
I have to. We'll end the pod with this question. I have a major philosophical question that was posed to me by our dear friend Jonathan Briscoe this past week.
Okay. Major philosophical question.
Correct.
Is very subjective. Means different things to different people. But let's see what we got.
Did you just try to law dog me?
No.
Did you just? I feel like you tried to attorney me.
Felt like I was at the end of a commercial, just giving the
Yeah.
the disclaimer.
Yeah. Of all the side effects.
Yeah.
This philosophical question could cause diarrhea.
May
in
cause
those
anal
over
bleeding.
40. Yes.
Some people did die.
Bro, anal bleeding, you hid that and somewhere in before
I
some
don't think
people have
you
died.
can prove that.
Condition called hot dog finger.
Bare ass back door and anal bleeding. Put it on your bingo cards. Mm-hmm. We are going to have watch us drink bingo. So, oh shit. Jonathan Briscoe, I drove to my driver's ed class.
Nice.
Small town New Mexico, he says. Teacher just shook his head. Stank blames Uber.
Of course.
Wes, they think they'll have to get a job if they have a car. That is a very good point.
That is a good point.
Because that is the rule.
But they know as long as they're being driven, we don't want to
Yep.
drop them off and pick them up all the time.
Yep. Stank says, who remembers driver's ed being a high school class?
Yes.
It was.
Yeah.
With practical things that mattered outside of nobody in high school showed you how to balance a checkbook or what a checkbook was or what a bank account was.
No.
But here's your major philosophical question.
Okay.
Bear, we're coming to you and Chandler both. So you have 1,000 grapes in front of you, Josh.
1,000 grapes.
1,000 grapes. You pick the kind, whichever you like, or substitute any fruit that you would prefer other than grapes.
I'm going the large purple grapes.
Nope, I'm a green grape
Those
guy,
are phenomenal.
frozen
but
in
not
the freezer.
kind that have the seeds in them.
Yep.
I like the seedless.
That's not the philosophical question.
Okay.
But you have 1,000
Dumbest
of them.
conversation ever.
Josh, one of those 1,000 is poisoned, and when you eat it, you die immediately.
Okay.
How many grapes are you eating?
I think you left out the point about you get money for each one that you
Oh,
eat.
yeah. And you get, yes. Sorry.
I'm like, no, I'm not eating any of them.
How about
don't
zero?
eat any. There's 100%.
That's sorry.
I survive.
Thank you.
But if you do eat a grape,
You get $1,000 for each grape that you eat.
How
Okay.
painful is the death? Is it like real?
no,
quick?
it's instant. You're done.
Oh, that's easy.
That's
Okay, then no. You bleed out your ass until you die.
Oh, now.
Okay.
Can we make that a meme?
Yeah. We've talked about it all today, folks. So,
I
Josh,
need that to be a meme. Somebody make it happen.
here's the question. You have 1,000 grapes. One out of those 1,000 is poisoned,
Thank you.
which you will die by bleeding out of your ass. Don't worry about what you're hearing in the moment, Diesel. You walk into conversations up here. We had a few members go to the golf simulator just a minute ago. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
shit. These guys own this place. But how many grapes are you eating? When do you?
Each grape
when you
is
should
worth
have
how much money?
$1,000.
$1,000.
So to get to $1 million,
This
the
is
math.
the fun part. Let's watch Jared do the math.
you're supposed to move the zeros
So
over.
1,000. So you eat 10 grapes, and it gives you $10,000. You eat 100 grapes, it gives you
$100,000.
$100,000.
Yep.
So that means
To get to $1 million, you have to die.
you have to eat
okay.
everyone to get to $1 million.
Okay.
You, in theory, could make $999,000 on this game.
You could.
Or you could make no money and die on the first grape.
Yep. How many are you eating? And this is the question, just randomly. And this is another reason that I really like Jonathan, is just that was the text to me.
Yeah.
Wasn't, hey, what's up?
No intro.
Family doing okay?
Yeah,
like
no.
blah blah. No.
It says
It was
100,000
this
per
question.
grape.
Oh, 100,000 per grape. That changes the game significantly.
Yeah.
Bro, that's too much. That's too much.
Jared's like, I'm eating one and then I'm out. Retirement.
That's exactly it. But you could die even reaching into the bowl.
What are the odds, though, that you're going to die on the first grape?
So if it was 100,000, are you a billionaire then? Does that math track? If you eat all 99,
No, just
990?
increased it by 100. So instead of 1 million, it's 100 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I could do a lot with either.
Yeah.
$1 million it doesn't spend like it used to.
I was going to say 10 grapes is $1 million.
I think the question too becomes like, the more grapes you eat, do you get more confident that like, oh, I'm good here, or
Yeah.
do you get more nervous that like every grape?
Let's talk strategy, guys.
Yeah.
So we'll go with Jonathan. Fine, 100,000 for each grape.
I'm thinking just like on the what animal could you kill, I thought about the animal's defense mechanisms and what
Yeah.
tools they could use to hurt me. I think about what's the percentage
You're right.
of
That's where I'm
that
at.
the next one I'm going to grab is going to kill me. And I think the first 10 grapes are easy, like no problem. I'm not at $1 million. And then you realize like $1 million isn't what it used to be, but that's still a lot of money. I think I'm probably getting to about there's 1,000 grapes.
See, I think it has to be $1,000 because
That's a lot of grapes, and your odds are very, very small. If it was 100 grapes
Yeah.
Right.
and you got 100,000 per grape, now we're talking because there's a 1% chance you die on the first one,
Right.
right? And then there's a 1.166 repeating chance on the next one, and then the odds increase every time. So, 1,000 grapes, I feel like I'm probably going to eat like 400 grapes. I'm going to get sick and vomit, and because I'm like, that's $40 million.
Stank is eating 30 grapes minimum, and I don't know if that was for 1,000 or 100,000.
I don't think it matters for him.
No,
He's like,
I
yeah,
think
I'm
it
gonna-
has to be-
thinking, I was thinking 300 to 400 is what my number
Yeah.
was. But your new rule that we slowly bleed out of our ass makes it a different thing.
And see,
Yes.
that's also where I think you have to. I think you have to do
'Cause
it
I
at
can make
$1,000.
plans. I can make plans with the slow bleeding out of the ass. Like even if I eat one, I can at least like invest it or like make sure that
or
the family's taken
shove
care
as
of.
many grapes in your mouth. You know you're dead. Just start shoveling them in. You're giving your family
What's this?
millions
What's
and
this?
millions of dollars.
What's this
it
like?
Was, it was more like, yeah.
Doing a whole bundle there.
Yeah.
I'm much more likely to eat more grapes if the death is instant, because then it was like, oops.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
don't
That's
even know.
interesting. I never even thought about that part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nate, like you die, you die. Whatever. You know, if you eat the bad one, that you die.
Yeah, if you tell me this is a slow, painful death, then I have problems eating more grapes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Because then I know, like, why didn't I stop sooner? And I'm
Right.
mad at myself as I slowly die.
When Jonathan, my initial response, and I'm a ready, fire, aim guy, but when Jonathan first texted this, I immediately texted back, I eat till I die. Like, because it's interesting. If you had asked me this in my young 20s or as a kid, like, I would have eaten a lot. Right now, I'm like, how much do I need to eat to cover my debts? How much do I need to eat so
That's a lot of
wife
grapes.
and kids? Yeah, it's all. That's a hell of a lot of grapes. How much do I need so the family is provided for after I'm gone?
Because again, money's not worth what it used to be.
It's not.
At 300, I'm getting a little nervous. Like up to that point, I'm just like, whatever. Like,
But does it roll into it for you? Like, dude, 300 and 500 seem like very close numbers, and it went this well for me. Like, are you becoming confident, or are you becoming very wary?
I'm a statistics guy, and so the higher the probability of the dead one, the more I'm going to be thinking about it. So I would really try to come up with a number that I get to, and then quit. But it's like, yeah, it's another grand. Like it's only 1/700th at that point. Like if you get to 300, so those are still pretty good odds.
See, I think it's a very different game if you say it's 100 grapes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, 100.
You know, 4 of them will kill you, but 96, all of those are worth 100,000 each. Now I think you're into the like, let me be strategic and really think about this, because 1 in 1,000, those odds are,
1 over 1,000.
yeah, everybody's gonna eat 300 or 400 before they really even start
That's
worrying
why
or
I
thinking
think
about
it has to only be $1,000. You only
but-
get $1,000 per grape. It makes, because then I'm like, okay, I can count up my debts and figure out what I need to pay and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but then you get sick from eating grapes and you think you ate the bad one and that's what's making you throw up, but really it's not. So then you try to force
No,
more
that's
grapes.
just diarrhea.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine if you got the one that's just a little different, like tastes just slightly different. You're like, ah, that's it. I'm dead.
Yeah.
I'm dead.
Yeah,
So,
I'm not dead.
Yeah.
So then once you think that you've eaten the bad grape, do you just go to town and eat as many more as you can? Or are you like,
If it's an instant death, then
then you
don't.
can't,
as soon
yeah.
as you-
Would it matter if there was a timeline? Like
Oh,
you
you
could
have
only
30
eat
minutes?
1 grape a day.
Oh.
Like would it
And
would that
after-
change? Like
after
would
a
it change
month-
the way you lived every day? Would it
100% because raisins suck.
Yeah.
It's not the same batch of grapes. Kevin, have a little fun with this. It's all just
It's a
grapes.
new grape every day.
Kevin's going to wait until all 1,000 grapes turn into wine and just drink that bitch.
As you're looking at this bundle of grapes, are you picking the ones that are like right next to each other, or are you like going around the edge and moving around?
All part of the
inside?
strategy.
Like,
Yeah. Fair.
That also, I feel like, would change, like,
Yeah.
how many I'm eating, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Mary Dean says, none. I have the worst luck on the planet.
Okay.
Wes says, my luck, I'd probably choke on the first grape. Like you die not even from the poison grape, you
Yeah.
die because
You
you're
choked
choking on the
grape.
grape. Oh my gosh, Nicole Cornish. Do I have to pay taxes on what I win?
Nope.
Fair question, but no.
We're doing the grape eating in the Bahamas.
Yep. Stank says if that is the case and he has to pay taxes, he's stopping at 9. So $9,000 for Stank is he's living
Good.
the dream. And they're all talking to each other with emojis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cheers.
what
I
happens.
wish we could see it. We'll figure that out for next week.
All right. We'll get better
Yep.
next week.
That's
Okay.
it.
So
How many total grapes, Bear? How many total grapes are you eating? 1,000, not 100,000. $1,000 a grape.
At least 333.
Okay. So
At
you're gonna
least a
have
third of them.
$330,000.
Yes.
Okay. Josh, your number?
yeah, I'm the same. I'm going 300 or 400 probably.
Chenandler?
Yeah, I'll go 367, although I die on grade 2. I already know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, man, I'm one that just pressed the luck.
You're gonna eat 700 grapes.
At least.
Yeah.
No whammies, no whammies.
At
Yeah.
least.
Yeah.
700 is probably the number where I start to not feel confident.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I've way surpassed what I thought.
Your answer statistically is the better one.
Yeah.
Like you, but that takes the, human element out of it. But
It does.
Yeah.
A 1 in 300 chance is still pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Here we go. We're going to draw for our bottle. Thank you guys for bearing with us. Haha. Thank you for bear assing with us.
Yeah.
We'll be better next week.
Please
we'll do a
don't
little
send-
trial run.
Don't send pics if you were watch this all bare ass.
Better every day. Please do not. God, no.
How are we doing the drawing?
I'm doing it right here. I got a little button on my phone.
Okay.
Here we go. You ready?
Yep.
So hashtag 43, the number 43, no spaces, # or hashtag right now. The risky behavior is why we don't trust your driving. That's what Mary Helen Dean
Wow.
says.
Okay.
My risky behavior.
It's risky
It
business.
sounded like that was generalized to just men.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep. Next week, what is next week? That is the Friday before St. Patty's Day. That is one of the
yeah.
things that I wanted to make sure everybody knew. You'll see it come out on socials today. You've seen it if you're on our email list. St. Patty's Day, Josh, falls on a Monday.
Huh.
What could go wrong?
Nothing can go wrong.
This is your people.
Yeah.
This is your people's holiday.
Yep.
So we're doing some fun things here.
Drink the shit out of some green beer.
Bingo. So we've got the Green Pale Rider. We've got some really fun menu things going that day for specials for the evening.
Yep.
Fish and chips, true authentic fish and chips. We've got shepherd's pie, which we've had
yes.
once before that didn't last through the
It
lunch
was
special.
so
Incredible.
freaking good.
Russ's shepherd pie. There was one other food thing. I can't remember what it is, but you'll see it on socials.
Was it sheep? Just kidding.
It was not.
sheep.
Definitely not sheep. Can you eat sheep? Sure, you can eat
It's called
sheep.
Yes.
Lamb. Yes.
Yeah.
Is a sheep and a lamb the same thing?
No, mutton is technically. What
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We've got some drink specials besides green beer.
Sheep and a lamb. the same
No
thing.
Irish car bombs. We don't do that here. Okay?
No. Go to Green
But
Door.
Irish coffee.
They got great
Yep,
Irish car bombs there.
Irish coffee. And if you're a member, Philip, Master P, is going to do an Irish whiskey tasting up here free of charge for all of our members in the Speakeasy. We also have just confirmed that we're going to have live music from our friend Chris Martinez
Yes.
on that Monday night as well outside on the East Yard.
He's
So
going to play all Green Day tunes.
all Green Day and Irish jigs.
Yeah.
There
Who
we
is
go.
who is the guy that the clogging guy? Michael something?
Mike.
Yep.
Yeah. This guy. The.
Yeah. That's a
Michael.
thing.
Michael Bublé.
Lord of the Dance. Definitely not Bublé.
Okay.
Michael Flatley.
Yes.
Nailed it.
Thank you.
Michael Flatley. He won't be here.
If
by
only
the
we
way.
had somebody who
might
could have
be.
Googled that and come
Yes.
up with the name.
Damn, Bear's getting too much FaceTime. Like
He is.
he's eating
Yeah.
500 grapes,
Yeah.
and he's
yeah.
like, no,
He's like,
I'm
yeah, I'm
good
just
now.
gonna keep eating grapes every damn
Yeah.
day.
Yep. We'll work on these technical difficulties. Okay, we're drawing. Make sure everybody kilts. Are kilts allowed? Stank? No. I do not trust that you
Long
will wear
as you
underwear.
wear underpants.
Fish and chips, Nicole. Yes, fish and chips.
Guinness stew.
Guinness, stew. That was the
Thank
other
you,
thing.
Chenandler. Guinness stew was the other food special that's going to be there that night. That is St. Patty's Day, the 17th of March, 2 days past the Ides of March. It is a Monday. We are open 5 to 10 that day for dinner
Week
service
and a
only.
half from today.
Correcto. Okay, here we go. Liquor 43. And we're drawing. We're drawing. We're drawing. It's definitely not Jordan Shaft. It better not be Jordan Shaft. It's the name we started with. DD214.
Oh, good.
DD214 Blanket. I can't see what your real name is, and I'm too blind to see your avatar to see if it's someone we know or not. But
Appreciate your service.
DD214
Hell yeah.
Blanket. If you are indeed a member, this will be waiting in your locker. You can message us on any of the socials. If
you're-
not, we'll
yeah.
have one without the TABC label on it.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Thanks again to member number 1, Michael Dunn. One and done with Budget Blinds. Woo, woo.
Thank you, sir.
Bear ass, thank you. Chenandler Bong, we're putting him on camera now that we've got some things figured out.
Yeah.
We'll do this much better the next time, or
Do
maybe
we need
won't.
to do like a practice of this to get everything between now and
If
then? Yeah,
any of
we'll
you
do that.
guys could show up 30 minutes early, that would be great for me.
Yeah, one of us was here early today.
Early for you.
Yeah.
Not early.
You're welcome.
You were here 10 minutes before start.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
welcome.
Speaking of, I don't know if that's really valuable because I've heard, that Jordan Shaft, like they just roll up Sunday morning, just plug the instruments in and go, right? Is
Yeah.
that how that usually goes?
They don't practice.
Yep.
Right.
No, there's no practice.
They actually have talent though, which none of us have. So
Agree.
Good call. Chandler does.
Yeah, Chandler's the heart and soul of that
It
band.
hasn't been proven yet.
Yep. Cheers. We've got 2 specials. Josh, today our soup of the day is French onion with house-made cheese croutons on top. And for lunch only, the Berea Bowl.
Oh,
I'm
Made for
ordering one
Chef
of those.
Steven.
I need to put that in.
dude,
by
the
way.
Maria Bowl. We both had
we
one
powered
today
them
before
down.
this, and it is like the best Chipotle bowl you've ever had in your whole life.
It really is.
It is freaking greatness.
If Chipotle was more homemade
Extra.
and was double the size of the
what?
bowls you get,
But it's guac extra.
Is guac extra? I don't know that we have guac.
we don't have guac.
No,
No.
That was a Chipotle joke.
No, I got the joke, and it was funny.
I don't ever eat guac because it looks like just snot on a plate. So
Yeah.
You need to get checked if that's your snot. Holy shit.
listen,
Means you have an infection.
do not judge, lest ye yourself be judged.
Ooh, wow. Bible. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. All
All
right,
right.
Josh, take him out the way we started this
Hey,
thing.
listen, as always, ladies and gentlemen, for the good of the people,
Cheers, y'all.
thanks for putting up with us.
For him.
I feel like Bear gone on a roll today.
He did.
That's all
Hot
right.
We
sports
had some
opinions
hot
about
sports
driving.
opinions. I loved it.
Yeah. Well,
So we use Riverside now for our other pod that we just record and post, and it's much higher quality than StreamYard. The things that it does not have a giveaway tool. So I'll find a better way to do that. The chat showing up. I feel like